saying. This is serious business, right? And they said that I wasn't capable of figuring out the problem, bringing y'all the solution, and telling y'all who the real leaders is. And definitely, I wouldn't be capable of finding some shit called an A-tone. Ain't none of us supposed to be that perceptive in the game, but I done produced the A-tone. Farrakhan told you what that shit mean. We beyond critical mass now, right? So now, if you ain't scared, if you scared, go to church, because that's where you need to be, because that's what that's for. The church is for the herd of cowards, right? When they start getting scared and their knees shaking, tell them to go to church and ask Jesus. While Jesus telling you to do for self, you trying to get Jesus to do it for you. That don't even make sense to me. Right? Don't even make sense to me. How in the hell the helping hand you looking for at the end of your own arm, says Malachi Z. York. How in the hell Jesus tell you all the stuff I'm doing, you supposed to be doing it. Everything that I see I can do, you can do even more than that. But you asking Jesus to do the shit for you. Because you don't want to do your own work. Entitlement is cancer to your success. Entitlement is cancer to your success. As long as you feel like somebody owe you something, you don't deserve anything. Everything not about $1. Some of this shit is about right and wrong. Just simply doing what's right. Following the path that's been laid out for you by your elders. Because I'm conjured the fuck up. I can't speak for nobody else. I ain't no regular motherfucker. I'm conjured the fuck up when you see me. They done conjured me up to fix a very fucked up problem. They said that us in the hood on this motherfucking concrete jungle, it was an endangered species. We'll never figure out how to do for self. We'll never figure out how to reclaim our birthright because we don't even know who the fuck we is because we think we Negroes, African Americans, blacks, and colored folks. Nigga, I'm woo up in this bitch. That's what the fuck I am. Right? So, because we didn't have no problem with the people from over there in Africa, they tried to say them was us. But we ain't paying attention. We would have knew that they came over here before they invaded Africa. They couldn't invade Africa until they neutralized us because we would have helped them. Right? But they had to make sure we couldn't go help them because we was too busy being stuck in a warlock. We locked in war. We can't go nowhere. We can't go help nobody. Is the same. Right? That's because they was trying to change the names and they was trying to get us to communicate in the language that's not ours.
Right.
Yeah, but it don't matter. We're going to find a way to master whatever language they bring over here. But English wasn't our language. So we got educated in English. We got indoctrinated in English. Right? So if we don't master the English language, we going to be stuck with English. And once you master the language, then the language can no longer be used as a mechanical vice on the brain. They use the language in order to keep the ignorant. No. To keep us ignorant. They dumb us down by using languages in slots. Legalese, medicalese, niggalese. They call it ebonics. Right. They have whole classes on ebonics because they was trying to figure out how we communicating with each other in their face. Right? So when we was changing the meaning of words so that we can talk about the motherfuckers doing the dirt in their face the same way they was doing us, they started getting concerned.
So they start hiring teachers and whatnot to learn Ebonics to translate it. They wasn't for them to learn it. They was doing that for the CIA and the FBI. They've been the enemy the whole time.
Right. So do you know, like, originally where that clan or area? And I feel more connected to my father's side. I'm still doing
Yeah, you
the
daddy's girl, Blue House, girl from the Blue House.
yeah, and that side actually they come to me off more.
Yeah, the father line gotta have heirs in case they don't have a sister. One of the boys gotta have a daughter to represent their mother.
And now my father is the baby, and I'm his oldest daughter. So if we get married, it's no more like for our name. It's gone.
But it's not the name that you holding on to, it's the blood ties.
Hmm.
So when the heredity come down, when his mama don't have a daughter, she have all boys, and she pick you, she reincarnate through you. And she also inherit her own shit back through you.
Right.
We doing this shit in cycles. Points of awareness in cycles. This is the game of the gods. The ones of us who don't allow the game to become too overwhelming for us, we start to see it after a certain age. Because the goal is to educate yourself above your enemy.
Hmm.
We not supposed to fight them with bloody war because we was in the conjure war. But they continue to fight us in the bloody war and turn us against each other in order, and then they was wiping their hands, say, see, I didn't kill him, he killed his brother.
Hmm.
And we fell for it. Now we not falling for it no more. You still got a few clowns here and there, a few goofies still doing dumb stuff. But if you look at the youth, if you look at social media in 2023 and look at social media in 2015, it's a whole different dynamic.
Yes, definitely is.
The mentality of the youth is more conscious of their native ties to the land than their parents.
And I feel like that's one of my duties as, this teacher for these boys is just to plant that seed for them.
Yeah. So they want us to be caught on names. We not caught on names. We caught on frequency.
Mm-hmm.
We caught on genetic frequency and genetic vibration. That's how we know what we need to do because it's encoded in your DNA for you to do a certain function when you get
Right.
here. Right. So when I was a little boy looking around at the oddities on the land, I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do with it, but I was aware enough to know that whatever the fuck I gotta do, this finna be big. Then one of my teachers, the one Elijah used to talk to me through a brother named Everett X, he got done running down what they needed me to do. I said, man, that's a whole lot of shit. I don't know if I can do all that. He started smiling with his Elijah Muhammad smile. I said, oh, you can do it. It's going to be easy for you. Easy for
Sound
me?
like a lot.
How am I going to figure that shit out? He sounded like my mama. Oh, you smart. You'll figure it out. How the fuck you know to figure it out? They was all right.
Yeah, you doing it.
Yeah.
Well,
But
yeah. And something you said resonates as far as like my grandmother coming back through me. My son, he's 4, and he always tells me that he's my grandfather. He said that's me. But today he looked at the picture because I have like an ancestral altar. He looked at the picture and he pointed to my grandmother and was like, "That's you, mommy." And he pointed to my grandfather and said, "That's me." And I was like, "You sure?" He said, "Yeah, that's you, and that's me."
that
And I
was
just
that was the whole purpose or point behind the movie Skeleton Key.
okay, I gotta see that.
Yeah. The conjure sacrifice. If I do enough in this lifetime, I'll come into my next lifetime liberated.
Mm.
Right?
And that,
And
it's crazy.
yeah, so you family redeemer. The one who can figure it out get the right to be the family redeemer. Then once he redeem his family, he go around redeeming all the other families he can redeem. This all matriarchal measures of success. Right. We're trying to get as many clans free as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so when I see what I see, I have to tell everybody, but it take a minute for the information to sink in sometime, and it triggers something in the subconscious mind. They be like, wait a minute, let me go see what that motherfucker said again.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then they start realizing, putting pieces to the puzzle together, and they were like, holy shit, I ain't come on no slave ship. I was already here.
Right. That was, yeah. Yeah. That's the kill. I give thanks. I'll let you take another call. Questions I had.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, sweetie. I'll talk
All
to you
right.
later.
Peace.
How you doing? I'm doing okay.
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you
What?
for
You
all
welcome.
the information that you offer. Like the other night when you was on live, I had actually wrote down a question and I was able to find it in my notebook. My question was about healing, multidimensionality, and retrieving like the fragmented aspects of ourselves that are keeping us stagnant right now. How can we harmonize that, and especially like with this eclipse, and like I'm a Scorpio moon, the full moon being a Scorpio, like how can I move the energy within?
Okay, first of all, you're a natural, being a Scorpio, at dealing with the transitional energies. So the first thing you got to know is to trust you to know what to do,
Okay.
right? The self-confidence of the Scorpio makes the Scorpio not need to go out and ask a lot of questions for the answer. It's the nature of the animal, right? You trying to become Scorpio. And hopefully this will be short because I don't know how I end up on a live feed telling me to record a live video at fucking this time of morning when most people are not even awake. Um, um, some of y'all just coming in, and I'm going to touch on how this video came about again because y'all might have some answers. So I picked my phone up. My video jumped ahead 3 steps in the recording process. I had to type the name in and start the video. That's where it was. It went from phone being laying down on home screen to record Facebook Live. So, hey Betty, the Asia, since I got y'all on here, the Lions Gate pops at 3 a.m., what they call the witching hour. After this gate opens, the females have to start moving the energy, right? So I told one, because I can only tell one person who to disseminate the information. So this I wasn't going to say until in the morning when I did a live. I did not expect to be doing a live video right now, but Mama must have wanted me on here. And I'm looking and I'm seeing up in the ethers. Y'all see that? Up in the ethers. So they're calling me. They're telling I can't go to sleep. I was trying to go to sleep. I can't sleep. This right here, if I lay down, this cloud right here lays right on top of me when I lay down. I want y'all to see it. That cloud lay on top of me when I lay down. This cloud. I'm sticking my hand in the cloud so y'all can see I'm not making this shit up. I can't make this shit up. Alright, now. So, Portia is the person I was told to get a contact information for the sisters. I should give y'all the information on what to do. Y'all share it with the other sisters that y'all know on the book. If y'all could share it on other forms of social media that can direct them to the page. All of it has to be on one post. All of the responses have to be under the same post.
So when y'all contact Portia, she gonna tell you what the post is, what to do. I can't say it out openly like this, but it's for the women only. Has nothing to do with men. Rizzo, I got up to let my dogs out because I couldn't sleep. And they still outside. The door open when they get done using the bathroom. They gonna come back in. That's how I end up on this live video. I end up going to let the dogs out. I laid my phone down. It was on the home screen. Had no intentions of recording this video. Did somebody send me a request to be in the video? Anyway, so when I came back in from letting the dogs out, and I'm still waiting on them to come in, and they'd be in by now, and my bedroom door closed, and they push my door open and come in the room with me, all four of them. They're like right here on the floor. When I picked my phone up, it told me to go live. And the only thing that made sense to me was that this had to do something with the gate popping at 3 a.m. The Lions gate popped 3 a.m. my time, which is, I'm on Eastern time, which is East Coast time. And so, when the women start sharing the information, and they all saying the same thing at the same time about the same thing, because they tired of the bullshit. They tired of the games. They tired of the rape campaign. They tired of the adrenochrome hunt, where they stealing children through DHS all over the world with similar organizations. When the women get tired of this shit, and they start making this connection. So Portia, once again, is the point person on the instructions. Now here they come. Now they starting to come in. 0 first. Ain't that something? The last came first. That ought to tell me something. How you doing, Miss Meadows? And so, I'm just following what popped up. So, I didn't have a subject matter. I didn't have an intention of recording the video. I didn't have an intention of doing a video, especially this late, because I didn't think nobody was up to watch it no way. But here it is. It's that time where all these sisters get together and say enough is enough. Y'all don't got to blow up nothing. Y'all don't got to tear up nothing. Y'all don't got to shoot nothing. Y'all don't got to stab nothing. Y'all don't got to throw no rocks. Y'all don't have to go out in the street and do no marching. Y'all don't have to go stand in the dock on nobody's door. None of that. Yeah, of course, sweetie. So, I'm probably going to go over this information again in the morning, because normally when I wake up is when I get my instructions for if I'm going to be doing a video that day or not, and what it's going to be about. And you know what, Renzo? 98% of my material is ad-lib. In the book it says, prepare not what you'll say before the magistrate. For at that very moment, the Holy Ghost will rise up and speak through you. So when I be saying stuff, I don't prepare like a lecture, speech, or nothing like that. I just say, what you want me to talk about? I get a subject in a line of a stream of thought. Excuse me for 1 second. One of my dogs is tearing up something, so I gotta go get him in here. Okay, sorry about that. But it's the puppy. And it's always the puppy. And so, sometimes, I know, the age, I know y'all been tired of this, but I had to go through a build-up process to be able to break this motherfucking tyranny. So now, after I did the work, pay attention now, I had to do the work first in order to show myself approved. Now, who am I showing myself approved to? You being tired of this shit? I had to be worthy to break you free from this shit. And every motherfucking sister that feel like you, that's tired of this shit, I had to be built a certain way to break this shit. I had to take a lot of persecution. I had to be betrayed a lot. I had to be shit on, kicked, spit on, looked at as the worst motherfucker to ever breathe. But through it all I had to do was do one thing. All I had to do was do my part. I ain't got to do nothing but my part. You know, just do my part. Follow the path to liberation. That's the only goal I had. From the day I was born, my only goal was follow the path to liberation, approved by the women of Earth. It's the right of the Earth rights. Women are called first. I did videos on both of those. And so, the women, it's y'all turn to say enough is enough, put y'all foot down, before we start having y'all call the children home from this military bullshit when they got y'all kids fighting in toy soldier wars. You know, so again, I'm gonna say it again because it's probably gonna be posted. A lot of people ain't gonna know why I did a video at 1 o'clock in the morning, because I sure in hell didn't expect to do one at 1 o'clock in the morning. But Portia Green is y'all contact, and if she got anybody that is gonna help her disseminate information, she can post their name under this, and then tomorrow morning when I do whatever I'm instructed to do to tell y'all, that's what I'm gonna tell y'all, and I'm gonna go over Portia information again. I just told you the Asia, approved by you and the women that feel like you, that are tired of this bullshit. I had to earn the right to be allowed by the women of Earth to take the test to determine if I could break the chains of hell off the women of Earth. And I did all that. I did all of that to get to this point. To tell y'all that on June the 22nd, 6 being the number of the man, June being the 6th month, the 22nd being the number where the master is testing the man, right? Then we got the year 2019. The 2 being the joining or the unity of, as is represented by the cipher, the alpha, which is the ace or the 1, and the omega, which is represented by the final number, the 9, the fulfillment. She on here watching the Asia. She'll chime in a minute and let you know she in here. The illusion that they tell us about is the hell that we create in our minds. It's the illusion. But we really don't create it ourselves. Really what happens is, when we little children, they tell us that if we believe this way, this is the way life is and the way it's supposed to be. And what they teach us is how to submit to the bondage of hell. All of those things that cost you your self-esteem, self-worth, those are your bonds of hell. Most of them are some form of an emotional attachment that produces a negative result. See, told you the age that she was going to chime in for you. Got it. Okay. And so, all they require y'all to do is contact her, get y'all instructions, and do what she say do. And these motherfuckers gonna have to break this shit down and give up.
Setup. You use your banking setup to form your sigil. And you use sigil magic and you exercise it. You use it. And in the area that you in, you will become a local money magnet. You walk down the street, $50 on the ground. You don't know where it come from. Because you are tapping into the energy matrix that they developed for their rights. They don't want you to know that. They just can't stop me from telling you because I'm authorized to say it now. And they don't like it. Because most of the people that's been allowed to tell it was scared of the consequences. Okay, don't tell it. I'm going to tell them. Because I want everybody to be able to have the same exact opportunity to live in the palace as that vampire bitch over there they call the queen. As long as she eat babies, she ain't got no respect for me. As long as she eat babies, she gets no respect from me. As long as they put
newborn babies, abortion babies, toddlers, infants, and elementary age school children on tables and eat them like they are steaks. I don't got no respect for them, period. So I'm going to tell all their little money magic secrets one by one. Then people going to be start saying, hey, he telling their money magic secret. I tried this one and I got $5,000 just like that. Because I am fed up with them using these things to take from us what they have no right of claim to. So when you understand they use the blood to sedate you, the blood is a sedative, that it's a negative energy pull. It pulls the energy vibration of the earth below 434 hertz. When you get below 434 hertz, especially the most powerful beings on this planet, the women, cannot function from the higher aspects of spirit in order to control around them. They use the blood rituals in order to keep the vibration low. Then they use the rites while you in your confused and dazed state under the spell of King Goo. They use the rites to capture the energy as it evaporates off you like the water. Gave me water, but it wasn't in the well. Gave me water, but it wasn't in the well. Where did it come from? Where did it come from? What is this water? The spirit. They capture it the same way bad dreams. And if you look up the dream catcher of the Native American, it'll give you a little more insight. So the same principle that the dream catcher used to catch the bad dream, the money right rituals are used to capture the energy and solidify it in the form of the currency, the paper money. But the paper money, not the real money. The substance that is supposed to back the paper money is the real money. So then where is the real money that you produce is they take it through something called fractional reserve labor. Fractional reserve labor is the exact same principle as fractional reserve banking. So if you know how fractional reserve banking works, then you'll know how your labor is calculated. All of these are the rights to your money that they don't want you to know. So they're going to tell you that people that burn candles is the devil. That's not true. Even the Christ said, don't put your candle under the lampshade. Let your light shine. So this is what they don't want you to know. If you can figure out what you worth, that alone, just you knowing, changes your whole reality. Because then the energy that you are expending would have to be accounted for by your internal accountant. We all have one. So the Apostle Paul, crooked ass, described it this way. He said, there is a self-accusing spirit. That is your accountant. And he's there to tell you when you make good, sound economic decisions, social decisions, spiritual decisions. We ignore them, but it's in there. In every religious text, tell you that it's something in you. It's in your DNA. And this something that's in you, that's in your DNA, can make you rich as a, can't say that, but it'll make you filthy. But you have to tap it. Now, they give you all of these misdirections like The Secret. That ain't gonna work. Because half of it is not there. That's the secret. The part that's not there, that's the secret. When you learn that it's about the rights and that to keep that energy vibration low, it's about the blood. That's the first step to economic liberation from the oppressor's hand of sorcery, because that's what they use. The blood and the right. Now the next video about the blood is going to be about the DNA matrix itself, because we have to understand the DNA. But hopefully, Julian, me and you got some work to do. We got a video we have to do. And I got a couple more I got to get out here. So I hope y'all understand what I mean when I say this is the reason why the poor or the righteous suffer and the wicked prevail. Because the righteous do not have the wickedness level in order to produce the quality and quantity of blood required to satisfy the rights of the bloodsuckers that's eating babies in Buckingham Palace and having sex with little boys in the Vatican. That's called the right of pain. They know what they're doing. The inflicting the pain upon those innocent children, that's also another right of wickedness, to keep the vibration of the planet low. That's why they do that to those children, to keep the vibration low, but their time is up. So the pedophile priesthood has to go. They know they leaving. Francis know, talking ass mule. He know he about to get evicted. Watch. That's gonna be fun. Okay, people. So I hope y'all enjoyed the blood and the rights, and I hope y'all get to understand better how everything works now. I'm open to questions on anything. If you need any more insight on reference, just let me know. You can inbox me, or you can put it in the comment section, and I'll try to clarify anything else. But just remember, they had old banks and new banks. The old banks are the far side, the back side of the three-dimensional money matrix. The new banks are the side nearest you, the close side to the money matrix. Just put them on the map of your city and mark every bank you can find, old and new. And then they'll form a geometric pattern. You can go through it with string, or you can use pencil to connect the dots, like connect the dots. But you will see the geometric pattern for your vortex area that controls the flow of money where you live. That is the exact reason why every bank is placed strategically where it is. If you want the money code for your state, it's not the local banks, though they make up a series of networks on a bigger geometric scale. But the banks, like you might have a Comerica main bank in downtown Birmingham, and they might have another one in downtown Ypsilanti. Well, you'll follow all theirs, and you will know their money magic grid for the whole state from that banking system. When you get all of the banks and then you overlay them, now you have the entire sigil of the state's money system, and you can tap into it. And little stuff that you do, the side effect will just produce money, because you are tuned in to what they are using to keep the money above the poverty line. The poverty line is held in place by the blood rituals, the pain and the suffering, and the rights is capturing the essence being subdued, and it's coming out in the form of money. And fractional reserve banking keeps you from getting to the real currency. So that's why you see the push toward gold, Bitcoin, white diamonds, etc., because they're trying to get away from the tracer and get to the source. But you want to get to the source of money if you want to get to wealth. Wealth is not in the paper dollar. That's the distraction. That's monopoly money, and it has no true value according to what your government says in this books put out by the National Treasury and through various other forms of government in DC. They said that the money is just backed by somebody saying this is money.
for lack of a better way to say it, that's what they said. It's called fiat. It's fiat currency, in that the people of the United States really is broke. They have no money because they've been bankrupt since at least 1933 was the coup de grace bankruptcy on the heels of the 1918 bankruptcy. So what you capturing now as currency is you capturing the energy flow of the fractional reserve. But when you start getting enough of that, you can use it to trace back to source wealth, which is, the raw materials. So when I moved to have the Pope dismissed, one of the things we're going to institute through the United Nations should be anything that you have to mine and you have to go further than 3 feet below the surface, that the demarcation lines of that nation, the proceeds from anything below 3 feet belong to the people to be used for the health, wealth, and the welfare of the people. You cannot take anything deeper than 3 feet outside the demarcation lines unless the people are compensated in just proportion. That makes sense. That's fair. NAFTA opens up the opportunity for Mexico to get into the oil trade. And most people in Mexico, North America, nor any of the NAFTA covered territories even know that Mexico has about as much oil as the Middle East. But ever since America won Mexico in the Mexican-American War, and they won California, New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas, which is a Lone Star state, which is a badass state for where they laid that play down. But when they did that, they was all part of a divide and rule situation to keep the money out of the hands of the poor, out of the hands of the ones who it actually belonged to. So they started having these gold rushes where they sent people across the country looking for the gold of the area so that they could try to claim the right to the area based off gold. But none of these people have a true claim of right. I'm the only person with a true claim to right to anything on this planet right now, being the only one graduate as a Melchizedek priest in full royal lineage. So I got claim of first right on the light body and claim of first right on that which houses the light body, which gives me claim of first right to the organic nanotechnological suits that the light body used to animate the three-dimensional fixed position reality. So hey, they gonna pay us, but y'all need to know how it works, because when y'all understand how it works, and they can no longer deceive you, just by you knowing breaks the deception. When the deception starts to crumble, the regime falls without resistance, because it can no longer keep you entranced by these false notions of wealth. They tell you you bought a house, but you have to pay taxes on it. You don't own that. If there is not a piece of paper in your possession called holder in due course in relation to a piece of land in their system, then you are just a renter of the land. And then you have what they call rights of domain, which gives you the opportunity to build a house on the land that you renting or paying duty on. Is actually what it is. It's not a tax, because these are the lords of England, and they enforce through the barristers of England that y'all think is the real law, but they actually imposters. And so when they do all these things, it's to deceive you out of your natural born wealth. There's not a person at McDonald's, they average about $10 to $15 an hour in salary, never knowing that under the fractional reserve labor calculation of what they're truly generating or producing in order to get paid that $10 to $15 an hour, they're actually producing about $1,500 per hour minimum through exertion. And they knew this. Is the purpose of it to cover it up and to conceal it in what they call inflation.
Inflation is there only to make you not realize that they're stealing from you. Inflation is a big old cloud. That's all it is. It's a cloud. It says I'm put inflation here so that you can't see how I'm stealing your money as I use this fractional reserve banking in this fluctuating interest rate to continuously deceive you out of your wealth. And it's too many of us that don't have the interest in our own well-being, not to go search what's going on around the world, but just with our own personal documents. Why do you need a birth certificate mounted on security paper for the trading of stocks and bonds? Why would you need a birth certificate? It should be on some type of certificate of birth type special paper for birth certificates and not banking paper, unless it's something other than what they're telling you. The same with a marriage certificate. And it's on bank paper and it's classified as a document of merger. What the corporations merge? Under God, you unite. You don't merge like corporations. You don't put your assets together only. Under God, you unite. You become one in love, honor, and respect. But they want you to become corporately one in finance and equity so that they can manipulate you and cost you your mortal soul. This is the deception. And this is what they don't want you to know. And this is what I absolutely need to tell you. This is how they steal your money. This is how they deceive you out of your life. You live a life where you work a job that leaves you crippled at the end and does not treat you with respect and dignity in the aftermath. That is fundamentally wrong at its core. So it's about the blood and it's about the rights. Understand what these people are doing, then they can no longer do it. All we need is, in a general consensus of unity, is to tell them to stop. Because the only way that any divine help can come to any people is if that people feel that they need divine help. Nobody is going to come help somebody that says, get away from me, I don't want your help. No matter how bad you see them struggling, no matter how bad you want them to help, you want to go out, you want to pick them up, you want to dust them off. But if they don't want help, sometimes you got to watch them suffer. They have to suffer until they get to the point where they understand that they need help. And they're not going to get out of this alone. And this is where we are with these sorcerers. Babylonian money magic. The whole thing comes crumbling down when we understand the blood is to keep us at a low vibration. The slaughterhouses, the trophy killing the animals need to stop. You don't kill for recreation. You kill for sustenance and substance. All of these things, if we don't understand about what they do in their secret rituals, are being used against us, whether we want to accept it or not.
From altering the DNA, it's a combination of factors. Altering the DNA, taking the double oxygen molecule that used to be down to the surface, now it's only to the ozone layer. So now you breathe in O1 instead of O2 or just O.
Right.
It's all these things changes the physiology. When you start tampering with the DNA and the DNA begin to upgrade, and it's also from everybody coming in human form. You can't come in your mythic form, but you can still see peering through the mythic form
Right.
of the ancestor that's incarnated.
Right.
So when we get caught up thinking that fairies ain't real, they just look like little people now. Right? elves and gnomes, we call them dwarfs,
Right. Right. Right.
right? And them big Shrek looking people, you see them all the time. Look, big goofies, you know. All of the mythic forms is in human form, but this because it's built around the spirit self. The mythic form can be seen peering through the face of the human.
Facts.
Mermaid, the Lyran,
All that.
right? You can see it peering through the face of the human, and it causes the general structure of the facial cranial features to develop into what they develop into. As you begin to peer,
I seen the
Right.
devil. I seen an evil entity. Is that just their mythic form that
Beyond
they
the
see?
veil, and they start seeing their
they looking at themselves.
Right.
So, especially when you are
Look,
being
for first time you face to face with yourself, for real, for some people, that's the most terrifying reality they'll ever have. Being face to face with themselves. We call it shadow work. We call it facing your inner demons.
I
Right?
talked about this on the show with again. I'd say it later. I want to tell people something. Okay, right.
So when you start facing all of the stuff, you like, for instance, the same person that can't stand so and so because they always sticking their fingers in the pot, walk right behind them, and they mad because they didn't stick their fingers in the pot first.
Woo.
But they want to complain about him sticking his fingers in the pot, so they don't seem petty by just complaining about him sticking his fingers in the pot first.
Oh man, some hella psychology.
All this stuff is to scramble the mind and keep us confused as to who we are, what's going on, and everything gonna be all right. And it ain't no doomsday prophecy. All them doomsday sayers and all that, they probably gonna be the ones with the doomsday for the dirt they did.